AI tools are getting wild this week. Google just turned your phone into a live movie soundtrack generator. This AI wipes window reflections out of your photos like they were never there. This one lets you draw motion paths that videos actually follow perfectly. And another one does real-time first-person video editing with just a text prompt. Meta dropped multi-shot storytelling that keeps characters consistent across 10 different scenes. This AI turns a single reference image into rock-solid dance videos, and this one lets you fly a virtual camera through your footage while completely changing the lighting. We got an AI that finds visual relationships instead of just matching pixels, another that mixes concepts from different images and videos, and ChatGPT now has Photoshop, Express, and Acrobat baked right in. MIT built a Star Trek-style system that speaks furniture into existence. Humanoid robots are now either entertaining kids at Disneyland or doubling as wheelchairs for the elderly. You're watching What's Next AI. All right, Google just dropped something really cool called Lyria RealTime from DeepMind and Google AI Studio. This thing turns your phone camera into a live music generator that scores whatever you're filming in real time, like your life is suddenly a movie. So here's how it works. As you point your camera around, Gemini reads the scene and figures out the vibe. Then Lyria RealTime creates background music that actually matches what's happening on screen. If you walk into a sunset, boom, you get cinematic music. If you're filming your cat doing something goofy, the soundtrack shifts to match. And get this, it all happens live with no editing needed. Under the hood, Gemini's vision model reads the scene and turns that into music prompts. Then Lyria keeps streaming fresh music as your camera view changes. It feels alive and reactive instead of just playing the same thing over and over. Lyria real-time tools are available for developers via the API. Meanwhile, you can also try it on your phone and desktop at the link in the description. WindowSeat is a useful tool for removing window reflections. Have you ever taken a photo through glass and ended up with your own face or random lights ruining the shot? Traditionally, fixing this in Photoshop is painful and never looks quite right. This AI model just wipes those reflections out in one go. Here's a before and after running it through WindowSeat. Even this messy example with raindrops on the glass comes out super clean. At the zoo, shooting animals through glass, or on a plane trying to capture the view outside, those ugly reflections simply vanish. In side-by-side tests, it beats older methods on both visual quality and artifacts. It also achieves the highest scores in quantitative benchmarks, which you can see in this comparison table. The best part is they've already released a GitHub repo with clear instructions so you can download and run it locally. Wan Move is a new research project that gives you crazy precise control over motion in AI videos. The problem with most text-to-video tools, you type a prompt and just hope the camera moves right. Not anymore. Look at the demos. You just draw these blue guidelines showing the path you want, and boom, the video actually follows your plan perfectly. You control how a person moves across the scene, how an object moves around, where the camera goes, even three-dimensional rotation. Check out the side-by-side comparisons with other tools like Kling and Tora. Wan Move keeps the motion way closer to what you asked for while still looking smooth and realistic. So how does it work? They basically take your first video frame and those trajectory paths you drew, then use some smart AI tricks to copy that motion information across all the video frames while keeping everything looking natural and smooth. The installation code is now available in the GitHub repo, so you can try it locally. EgoEdit from Snap Research is built for real-time first-person video editing. It tackles the problem of crazy fast camera movements, your hands blocking things, and direct object interactions that make normal video editors fall apart. Look at the demos. For ego-centric editing, you can turn a backpack in your hand into a violin or replace a water dispenser with a flowing lava effect while your hands interact with it naturally. The system handles those tricky first-person camera angles really well, keeping your hands and the objects looking natural. It also works for general editing tasks, like turning a woman jogging into a Red Devil character, or adding a fire-breathing dragon flying across a parking lot scene, and it handles longer videos too, keeping everything smooth and consistent across extended clips. The hands and objects stay correctly positioned throughout the video. EgoEdit is the first real-time autoregressive system for egocentric editing that runs on a single H100 with 855 millisecond first frame latency, enabling live AR interactions. The EgoEdit data is still under final review with no confirmed release date yet, but you can check out the project page in the description for more details. OneStory from Meta generates multi-shot videos that tell actual coherent stories. So here's the problem. Most video generators create single clips, but real storytelling happens across multiple shots that connect together, right? OneStory handles that. Look at these two examples. It can generate 10 shots in a row, where one shows real people talking in a garden, then by a lake with different camera angles and actions, and everything stays consistent. Another shows Lego characters having a conversation in an office. The character details, clothing, and style stay solid throughout the whole story. OneStory uses a frame selection module that picks the most important frames from previous shots to build a memory bank. Then an adaptive conditioner compresses that context efficiently. It generates each new shot based on what came before, like writing the next chapter of a story. Compared to other multi-shot video models like Story Diffusion, Flux, or Mask.dt, OneStory actually keeps your character and story consistent from start to finish with way better quality. Unfortunately, no code is available yet, but if you're interested to read further, the paper is in the description. One-to-all animation is a game changer for driving character animation from a single reference image. You give it one character image plus a pose or dance video, and it transfers all that motion onto your character while keeping identity and style consistent, even across long clips. It's not limited to anime either. Here's a 3D style example, and even though the head is way bigger than the body, the motion still looks natural. Here's another really weird character with exaggerated proportions, and it still tracks the body surprisingly well. Compared to Wan Animate, which often produces a lot of noise, distortion, and background warping, this looks much cleaner and more stable in side-by-side tests. The good news is the code and training data for different model sizes, from consumer-grade to high-end GPUs, are already released in the GitHub repo. I'll leave all the links in the description. RelSim is all about finding visual relationships, not just matching how things look. So here's the challenge. An angry hedgehog, a cat holding an angry face drawing, and a bull sketch don't look alike at all, right? But RelSim understands they all share the same creative pattern. They're all expressing anger or fierce emotions in different ways. That's relational similarity. Finding the hidden connection between completely different-looking images based on what they're doing or expressing, not just their visual appearance. Check out these examples. RelSim finds all these creative patterns like people balancing objects on their heads, being playfully surrounded by matching items, or images with unique framing and perspective tricks. The results all capture that same creative visual relationship, even though the actual subjects are completely different. Here's how it works. Normal image search using Clip finds dogs that look similar, same breed, same pose. But RelSim finds the relationship pattern instead. You show it a dog taking a photo, and it finds a cat with a camera, a bear with a camera, a raccoon with a camera. Completely different animals, but all doing the same creative thing. That's relational similarity versus just visual similarity. When compared to other image similarity methods like Dino and Clip, RelSim actually understands the creative concept. Search for tiny workers examining a bee, and RelSim finds miniature workers on circuit boards or grapes, while Dino just gives you more bee close-ups. Same with cardboard box heads. RelSim finds the hidden identity pattern, but Clip just shows people moving boxes. The code is ready in the GitHub repo, link in the description below. Fair warning. This needs heavy-duty GPUs like an A100 or RTX A6000 to run, so unless you've got a beast of a machine, you might want to just check out the demos for now. LightX lets you change the camera movement and the lighting of an existing video. Here are some examples of relighting. On the left, you have the original, and on the right, you see the edited version. You can add purple-blue side lights, turn it into a warm sunset, and it still respects object boundaries and depth, so the lighting looks natural. Beyond lighting, you can also change the camera, turn a simple shot into widescreen, zoom in more, or move the virtual camera around the scene for a new perspective. You can even cut out a character, drop them into a new background, and have LightX relight them so they blend in. Another use case is to take a reference image or HDR map with the lighting you want and apply that same lighting style to the entire video. LightX first takes your input video and builds a rough 3D version of the scene, kind of like a point cloud model. From that 3D scene, it can relight everything and move a virtual camera around, then use a diffusion model to render a new video with the lighting and camera angles you picked. If you want to run it locally, all the code and instructions are in the GitHub repo link in the description below. Alright, COREA is the first system that combines relightable 3D Gaussians and signed distance fields for better 3D scene creation. Most 3D methods struggle to get both pretty visuals and accurate shapes at the same time, right? COREA solves that. It's designed to do three things really well. Look at these demos for novel view synthesis. When the camera moves to any new angle, the scene still looks photorealistic. Next is mesh reconstruction. That's building clean 3D models with smooth surfaces instead of messy blobs. Also, COREA is good at physically based rendering, which means the materials and lighting react like real objects. So when you change the lights, metals look metallic and wood looks woody. When compared to other models, COREA delivers way sharper geometry and more realistic relighting on these three aspects. COREA uses a two-stage process. First, it aligns the SDF mesh and 3D Gaussians using depth and normal information to get accurate geometry. Then it separates out the materials and lighting components so you can relight the scene naturally. This bidirectional approach means both representations help each other get better, giving you clean shapes and realistic materials. The code is not yet released on GitHub, but you can still check out more on its project page. ChatGPT just dropped something wild. Adobe is now baked right into ChatGPT with Photoshop, Express, and Acrobat. No joke, this is pretty cool. So first up, you can use Photoshop in ChatGPT to edit photos, tweak exposure, contrast, add effects to the background, and boom, it edits your photo right there. Next, you can use Adobe Express to browse templates, add or edit text, and replace images with a prompt, all without leaving the chat. Perfect for those last-minute social posts. Lastly, you can use Acrobat to merge files, edit PDFs, or redact sensitive info just by asking. All three tools are free for ChatGPT users now. Here's the kicker. OpenAI also launched GPT-5.2, which is way smarter at spreadsheets, coding, and handling super long documents. And wait, there's more. Disney signed a deal with OpenAI so you can create short videos with over 200 Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars characters in Sora early next year. Alright, BiCo is seriously cool. It stands for Bind and Compose, and it lets you take visual concepts from different images and videos and mix them together into something totally new. You can take a butterfly from one video, a Minecraft landscape from an image, and a volcano from another image, then compose them all into one coherent scene where the butterfly is flying through the Minecraft world with the volcano in the background. Or check this out. You can take a beagle dog wearing a collar from one image and a bartender mixing drinks at a bar from a video, then combine them so the dog is actually mixing the drink with its paws at the bar, surrounded by the cityscape through the window. How does it work? BiCo uses a hierarchical binder that attaches visual concepts to specific words in your prompt, keeping each element accurate and distinct. Plus, it filters out irrelevant details with an absorbent token for cleaner results. If you want to try it locally, the installation code is now available in the GitHub repo link in the description. Multi-View Pyramid Transformer, or MVP, reconstructs huge 3D scenes from tens to hundreds of images in just 0.1 to 2 seconds. Look at these examples. 32 views in 0.2 seconds, 64 views in 0.4 seconds, 256 views in 2 seconds, and the results are incredibly detailed. Check out these 3D reconstructions of museums, buildings, temples, gardens, and rooms. You can see all the tiny camera positions that went into creating these scenes. MVP uses a dual hierarchy system. It processes individual frames with high detail, groups them at medium resolution, then combines everything at a global level with low resolution for the big picture. This pyramidal approach lets it handle tons of images efficiently while keeping quality high, then outputs everything as 3D Gaussian splatting. Compared to other tools like long LRM and ILRM, MVP is way faster. From this chart, MVP processes 256 views in 3 seconds, while ILRM takes 20 seconds and long LRM crashes. And the quality is noticeably better, as you can see from these comparisons as well. The code is released on GitHub, and the link is in the description below. Okay, MIT just created something straight out of Star Trek. They built a speech-to-reality system where you literally speak objects into existence. You say, "I want a simple stool," and a robotic arm builds it from modular components in about 5 minutes.
I want a simple stool.
No joke. They've made stools, chairs, tables, shelves, and even a dog statue. Unlike 3D printing that can take hours or days, this system builds furniture within minutes using modular cubes. The vision? A future where you ask for an object and it materializes right in front of you, just like the replicator in Star Trek. The research was presented at the ACM Symposium on Computational Fabrication. This week, we've got robots for everyone, from playful companions for kids to caregiving helpers for the elderly. Disney just revealed a fully robotic Olaf from Frozen that actually walks and talks on its own. This isn't animatronics. It's a self-walking robot built with a flexible, squishy, snow-like body, trained using deep reinforcement learning to move just like the movie character. Olaf can fully articulate his mouth, eyes, and removable carrot nose, and he can speak and engage in real conversations with guests. He's coming to Disneyland in Hong Kong and Paris by early 2026. This marks a new chapter in Disney character innovation, where technology and storytelling blend to bring screen characters into reality. China just unveiled the CGI Q1 from RobotGym, the world's first humanoid robot that doubles as a wheelchair. This is seriously cool for elderly care. With one button press, it switches between operational mode, where it helps with daily tasks like handing over water or feeding, and wheelchair mode, where it carries a person safely. It covers 80% of high-frequency senior care needs, including standing up, turning over, mobility assistance, emotional companionship, and health monitoring. It can even detect falls and call for emergency help to keep seniors safe. Robots like this could be the way out to solve the aging population crisis. Making it to the end means you're in the top 1% staying current with AI innovation. Want weekly deep dives like this, packed with live examples, technical breakdowns, and side-by-side tests instead of surface-level news? Smash that subscribe button, enable notifications, and leave a comment telling me which AI tool you'd like covered next. This is WhatsNextAI. See you in the next one.